Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Fili, also known as Alex.
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle-earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
I'm Kili.
And I'm Fili.
And we are Happy Hobbit here in
Colorado!
Welcome to this episode where we are back in the California Shire.
And not in Colorado anymore, sadly.
Yes, but we had a wonderful, wonderful time.
It was amazing.
It was so awesome. And yeah, that was the first convention that we've ever actually been invited to as Happy Hobbit.
Our first time being invited, getting to do our own panel. It was so much fun. And have our own booth.
Exactly.
Sell Happy Hobbit merchandise.
Exactly. Which we're going to make available to you guys online.
Yes.
Don't worry, we won't leave you out.
No
but
way.
It's just, this is all new to us, and it's kind of crazy.
It's been awesome though.
But like the trip there was so cool because it actually wasn't too cloudy, so when we were flying over the mountain ranges, we could actually see them. We just crossed over the misty mountains. And as I'm sure you guys saw, we were able to actually post on our page while we were traveling, and that's because even though we don't have smartphones, I figured out a way that Facebook allows people who have fan pages to update using email.
Yeah, so, it's super rad.
Yeah, so I was really worried that we were going to eventually have to buy a smartphone and pay a ton of money because we don't have a lot of money. And we found a way around it, so that's how we were able to update you guys. And
you guys probably saw the post from our friend known as Frodo doing a lot of our social media stuff.
Who was dressed up as
Boromir, which is kind of as confusing as us with dwarf names, and yet Hobbit,
Happy Hobbit, and then we were dressed as elves at one point.
Don't ask. Just don't ask.
We're all-inclusive beings.
Yes.
We embody every Middle-earth race, except for humans. Like, we're not really big on the men thing.
Who needs humans?
Like, because that's like the boring one.
Whatever.
But yeah, so anyway, we flew into Denver. We saw the Rocky Mountains from above.
The misty mountains.
Yes, one was peeking out above the clouds. It looked just
Lonely mountain.
It looked just like Erebor.
It was almost like we were Smaug. Almost.
I know.
On Smaug. Oh, the eagle.
That's what we kept saying the whole time. Imagine if we were on the
a
back
dragon.
of a dragon.
But it was so much fun, and the first day we were able to be on, we had two panels. We had the history of the One Ring, which we did with staffer Justin, or as you know him on our show, Bolfer.
So we did that, and that was a cool look back at, you know, because the website has been around for 15 years now. And from the earliest days when there were just rumors of the films being made and spy reports coming from the set and all the controversies that spurred. And we had fun looking at how history repeats itself. Like everyone was freaking out back in the day over Arwen.
And then now with Toriel.
And that, oh my gosh, Arwen's role's being expanded. What's this woman doing here? And then here comes Toriel. And everyone's freaking out again. So
it was really neat to see that discussion.
And it's just funny because you look at like the Lord of the Rings films and everyone's like, pretty much in agreement. Like, no, they're great. They're pretty much as good as they could be, and we love them. And yet, at the time that they were released, people had a lot of, you know, a lot of nerd freakouts over them. So it's like, it's probably just a matter of time until the Hobbit films are just as beloved.
But it was still really great to see. Not only talk about like the differences and the controversy of like then versus now, but just to see like everyone's still so excited.
I know, 15 years later?
15 years later, like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. And just everyone being like, a lot of people who were there, been with the One Ring like that whole time. Yeah. And just have stayed loyal fans of not only Middle-earth, but yeah, of the One Ring. And it's just, it was really cool to see that and see everyone's enthusiasm. And yeah, so there we brought up Happy Hobbit a little bit, just because, you know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we know that, you know, we love having, you know, fans of our show and your guys' support and everything, but let's be honest, like, to the world, no one knows who we are or anything.
No.
And so we can't just show up in a foreign city
like, hi,
and expect people to know who we are. So thinking of that, I figured that, you know, most people who came to our panel were probably going to be people who saw it on the schedule and thought, oh, that looks interesting.
It's the name Hobbit. I'll go.
Yeah, I like Hobbit. I'll find out what this is.
Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome to the Happy Hobbit panel, our very first ever panel. We're so happy to see so many of you.
I know, this is crazy.
I'm actually terrified.
Like, how many of you even know have you guys seen our show before?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Or how many people just came?
How many people have just thought it looked interesting and
awesome, making new
cool.
fans.
Very cool.
That's the goal.
And we were right. About 75% of the audience was people who just thought it sounded cool. So it was perfect because we'd geared our little presentation towards
new people.
Just like, this is who we are, this is what we do.
But
this is where you may have seen us, Hobbitception. Can we go in?
That line's for you. That line?
those people?
Yeah, look, the homie, the guy in the back was at our first time.
Oh, that's true.
You don't even think your line is yours.
It was really surprising and not gonna lie, very nerve-wracking.
This is the first ever Happy Hobbit panel. Except we're missing half of Happy Hobbit.
Yeah, because the whole time, like, our friend Frodo and our mom,
we're like,
well, we'll be there. We'll be cheering.
And we're like, you know what?
I
don't care.
Expecting like 5 people, but
and then we're like, okay, this is awesome, but kind of scary.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Still cool.
Yeah, Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really cool, but then because we were like, it's really weird when you're up there on a panel because you're looking out at everyone and you're talking and then everyone's looking at you like this.
And you can't tell if it's interest or if it's like, I hate my life.
And that usually is an attentive face.
Yes.
But because you're not getting back and forth, it's like,
are you alive?
You're all just like staring, does anyone
But I probably look the
care?
same freaking way on a panel when, like, I'm in an audience.
And so, so that was a little weird, and I realized, like, okay, look, this is what we need to do. We need to break the fourth wall. Like, you call that the fourth wall between the audience and, you know, whoever's presenting or on stage or whatever. And I figured that's how we're comfortable. We're not, like, comfortable, at least I'm not comfortable being like, hey, look at me, listen to what I have to say, I'm so smart, or whatever.
It's definitely much better and easier and more fun to interact.
So we ended up going through our slides like within 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time, we're like,
and the panel was supposed to be for about an hour, so after that I was like, let's talk, people. Like, we have a bunch of Tolkien fans in the room, and, we already, like, we touched on some stuff that people are passionate about, and so we opened it up for questions, and then the questions naturally transitioned into a discussion.
Which was really neat.
Yeah, it was really cool, because then it's like, if we don't know the answer to something, someone else in the audience is
like,
answering.
everyone, you guys are so awesome, like, the things like, from the Silmarillion in this part to compare to, like, orcs and Lord of the Rings and how, like, I don't know, just like all these really specific things that was really cool to see everyone just like share their knowledge and answer questions and like basically us just kind of moderate and guide the conversation sort of thing.
Yeah, so afterwards a bunch of people came up to us and were like, dude, that was cool. Like, I've never been to a panel before that actually, that I actually learned stuff from in terms of it feeling like a community or like a seminar.
Yeah, instead of so formal when it doesn't need to be. I mean, we're not.
Well, especially because we're like here with a fan site doing
yeah.
fan things.
No, it was awesome. But why do we not have footage of our panel?
Oh
That's
my gosh.
a good question.
So we set up to film. We set up our camera. Beaufort gave us this cute little tripod. We had a perfect angle.
Awesome.
We were all set to film our panel, to put it up for you guys. We hit record 15 minutes early.
And we'll play for you what we have.
Yeah, we're hanging out. I'm freaking out, dumping ice everywhere like the idiot that I am. And turns out that, our mom was like, you guys, I'm sorry, the battery died partway through. I saw that switch off, and we're like, oh great, I'm thinking, I haven't filmed that much. How is that possible? Oh well. So we get back to the hotel that night.
We're like, let's look at it.
And I open it up, and I'm looking at the footage, and I see that there's only 14 minutes of footage. That's not right. So I fast forward to the end. Here's where it gets weird.
It cuts off probably, I mean, you'll see, only about a minute or less into the panel.
The camera moves. You hear it being moved and manipulated, then it switches off. Here's the scary part. No one was there.
My name is Kelly.
And I'm Alex.
But we go by...
no one touched it. So, and my camera has never malfunctioned like that before. I've never had it switch off.
Full battery.
It had full battery. It had full space on the memory.
But as you'll be able to see, it creaks enough for a hand on the camera. Completely seems like a person touching it. I know we sound crazy, but nobody did.
Nobody was there. So then I'm like, is this like a ghost from my book? Is this like Tolkien like pissed at us? Like,
Mad
what's
that
going
we're not
on?
purists.
So yeah, so that was the really bizarre reason we don't have footage of our panel, which sucks because it's like that's the one thing we wanted to be able to film for you guys.
All right, what'd you just finish?
Our panel.
And
It was scary, but it was fun.
what was it scary?
It was more of just feeling like we didn't say anything important. I don't know.
But nobody left.
And it was by ourselves, so it was kind of scary. It was cool. I know. I hope people had fun, is all.
It was more people than our panel this morning.
Yeah, this is true. It was awesome. Oh my gosh. We're gonna go sell posters.
There was a GoPro in the room supposedly filming.
Hopefully.
No idea how we can get that footage. We're working on it, but if we don't end up being able to get it, then hopefully just this video will suffice. So after that was the big night.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. I wish you guys all could have been there.
The Best Western Denver Southwest, or better known as the Dino Hotel, is awesome. Like, if you're ever in Denver, that's the place to stay. There are dinosaur things everywhere.
Dinosaur bones.
And you can go up and touch them. They're castings of actual fossils. And you can touch them, and you can, you know, take pictures with them, and you can do all kinds of things. And so they were the official host of our
Torn Moot.
Yes, our Torn party. And so we invited a bunch of people to come, and it was great. We kicked things off with trivia.
10 points for effort. Anybody? Anybody?
You were talking about this.
Yes? Don't be so humble, you are right.
We're so good at, like a little too good, the questions were too easy.
Seriously, these are so easy. It's really hard, guys. Who invites Bilbo Baggins to share in an adventure with him? Gollum, Yay! Everyone wins!
I know some people won, like we were giving out Toriel posters as
You guys got a lot
prize.
of Toriel.
Yeah, some people got like 10. But that's okay.
Yeah.
If they still wanted the posters.
It was just so awesome because people came in costume, people came in Middle-earth fashion dresses or skirts, and I mean, we had our own awesome Middle-earth map dresses.
And then we were surprised when Weta Workshop showed up.
Oh my gosh.
And
yes.
so that was a real special treat, and that really made the evening for us.
It did.
Because all of a sudden, like, our party just went from a bunch of geeks to the geeks
Who-
and the creators. And that's what's so cool about The One Ring, is that it brings these two groups together. And so that was really special.
the people who made Middle-earth. Like,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So thank you so much to the folks at Weta who turned out.
Really, after that, everyone was still having fun, didn't want to go home.
Yeah, we had a
So-
costume contest, so I'd invited everyone with, you know, to come up to the mic and talk about their costume. And it was going so well that I was like, anyone else want to come up and talk?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the crowd had died off a little bit at that point, so it was a manageable group of people. So what was really neat was to see everyone being like, well, I know some Elvish, anyone want to hear it? Of course, yes.
Elvish poetry reading,
So
open mic
so this
night.
is an excerpt from the Mari, the poem that's also the Latriel's Lament. Ai laure mantalassi subine yenimo timevera ramara noron yenmo endoroi loseron doris ringare de renmara ringberon lantar ringbar.
Or I've got some Middle-earth puns that are awesome.
Some really dorky jokes.
So what did Frodo say when he saw some trees dancing?
No, ants in your pants?
No, that's entertainment.
This one's a little more obscene, but just go along with it. But it's more of a pickup line. And it goes, was your ass forged by Sauron? Because that ass is precious.
Awesome.
That was so good.
Or like, hey, okay, I'm gonna do a voice impression of a character. You guys guess who it is.
But what if it is a trap? It's a trap. I can smell your breath. Where are you?
It is like
It basically became a Middle-earth open mic.
Yeah.
And
it was so cool. Like
it was so cool.
that was the funnest Lord of the Rings party
I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Almost, literally, it sounds insane, almost equivalent on a totally different way than one of our One Ring Oscar parties.
Oh yeah,
As
totally.
ridiculous as that sounds, of like 20 people in a little dinosaur hotel versus a giant scale party, it was just, and I think that's what made it so neat, was that everyone there was just so passionate and willing to just, here is my nerdness and I'm gonna just like sing this or whatever, like, and it was just, I don't know, it was really special.
I mean, it was a really supportive group, and it was just magical to see that community forming, and so a lot of us understandably became close that night, and the benefit of it being like a 75,000 person convention versus a 200,000 person convention was then as you're walking around going to your panels and stuff, it's like, oh hey, oh my gosh, how are you, what are you doing, hey, I'll see you later at this panel or whatever, rather than just like, I think I know that face, and like, oh, that person says they talked to me but I don't remember, you know? So that part was really cool.
I mean, we would love to start just doing, I'm sure you guys would enjoy it too, outside of cons or as part of cons, Middle-earth open mics. Like,
yeah,
some sort of event like that where it's just like, get up there and do your thing. Like, awesomest part was when everybody started singing.
It's funny because as soon as you're like, hey, let's sing Misty Mountains, everyone goes, oh, I don't know the words. As soon as you start hearing it, everyone does know the words.
It was so, I don't even know what the word would be. Magical.
Yeah, it was magical.
To hear everybody singing and the whole room sounded like Bag End when they were singing Misty Mountains.
We were all singing in our deep dwarven
voice.
Misty mountains cold, dungeons deep, and caverns old. We marched away, and like a day. Oh God, the pines
it.
And we had a this young elf woman sing a beautiful rendition of Pippin's
Oh,
song.
that too.
Beautiful. What else?
It was incredible.
So we didn't get much sleep that night because when it was time to go to bed, it's like, but that was so cool, I can't sleep.
Oh my gosh!
So we ended up not getting much sleep during the whole convention.
Probably like 8 hours total.
Which, like, every convention that I've been to, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna get
This is
sleep.
the
Like,
one.
I have to be up in front of people. I'm gonna do it. And it never.
But somehow your body goes into that survival mode and you can still get up there and talk in front of all these people on no sleep and 12 cups
Oh yeah,
of
when
coffee.
it's time to be on a panel, it's like, I'm alive.
You kind of hit that crash in the middle of the day. Saturday had a really cool panel that was about...
That we actually got to attend as
yes.
attendees.
Yes, about if creatures of Middle-earth could be real and like comparing them to like extinct animals.
No, yeah, it was Beaufort, Justin from the One Ring, sitting on a panel with the owner of the Dino Hotel, Greg Talley, who's a dinosaur expert, along with 2 paleontologists,
Yeah.
Matthew Mossbrucker and the famous Robert Bacher. Bob is someone that you've probably seen on almost every dinosaur documentary in the past, like,
Forever.
40 years.
He's incredible.
He's a legend in his field. He's the author of Raptor Red, if you ever read that. It was one of my favorite books as a teenager. It's a story told from the point of view of a Utahraptor, I believe. And it's just awesome. And so they did a panel, examining the fossil record for evidence that animals like the ones Tolkien wrote about, to see if they could have actually physically existed.
How did Tolkien describe this? Well, they described them as being as big as houses from Sam's perspective, and you have to wonder, since Sam was a halfling, if he means if it's as big as Baggett, or sometimes as big as hills. And some of his creatures, he's very circumspect and just mentions them in passing, but Tolkien waxed rhapsodic about Oliphants and said upward curved tusks, and definitely went to great lengths to describe both the Oliphants and Sam's excitement over seeing.
And also exploring what information would Tolkien have had access to, especially at Oxford, where a lot of this was, accumulating. What would he have had access to while he was writing? Could he have just strolled down the hall and knocked on someone's door and said, hey, what are you looking at now?
What kind of animal is that?
A giant bear. Huh. All right.
Interesting.
So, it's really fascinating to play that game, that what if game. And unfortunately, an hour was not enough.
No way. They could have. That whole room was so attentive. They could have been there 2-3 hours. Everyone.
So there's kind of like everyone was mad when, at the end we had to cut it off. But, the paleontologists had brought some of their castings of an Allosaurus skull.
Oh.
And so they brought that by Weta Workshop's booth afterwards and let the artists from Weta come take a look at it.
Weta artists were very.
It was awesome.
Interested. It was awesome.
It was so cool. And yeah, it was. Once again, the One Ring, bringing together groups of people who normally would have very little excuse or reason to interact, but are fascinated by each other.
And you become friends, and it's awesome.
Through mutual love of Tolkien, you become friends with paleontologists, with
Artists,
filmmakers, with
random people,
with ranchers, all these things, and it's just, that's like with the power of fandom.
It is amazing.
Like you people watching this, so many of you that we've gotten a chance to say hello to or whatever, you're all so cool. And none of us would have ever met or known each other existed if not for J.R.R. Tolkien.
And the One Ring.
Exactly. And Happy Hobbit.
Yes. It's so awesome.
So the next day was our big panel.
Yes.
It was the OneRing.net previewing the third Hobbit film, The Battle of the Five Armies, with our special guest, Sylvester McCoy, Radagast the Brown himself.
Yeah.
Please welcome Radagast himself, Sylvester McCoy.
Wow, how are you all doing? My name is Radagast Brown. I roll my R's, you know. Do you? Welsh? Scottish? Yeah.
I also roll my R's when I speak Spanish.
Oh, really? Oh. I wonder. We'll have to do a Spanish one now.
He's awesome.
And so that was really, he is such a funny guy. Like, he's so warm and welcoming, and yet he's sharp as nails. And so, like, you know, he's making puns and jokes and stuff, and then I'm sitting there going, what did he just say? Oh, okay, now I get it. And everyone else in the audience is like already laughing.
I know.
What are you doing here? Get out! This is Hobbit, tell me! There must be a battle in it. There might be 5 battles. Or 1 battle with 5 armies. But I can't say anything about that. Not an American Republican. But one of those real ones that believes in republics. Create this upstaging little cuddly horrible hedgehog who I wish I'd never allowed to live. Upstaging me all over the place on the screen. Sebastian. I know I shouldn't have let him, but I didn't realise he was going to be so cuddly and lovely and sweet and everything. Other, it was me in that scene.
Did you get to interact with any actual animals, or were they all CGI then?
They're all CGI. Wow. Even the birds, you know.
So after Sylvester McCoy's panel, I had to run to my panel, and because at the last minute I was given a panel for my book for Darkwing.
Ah, so
cool. Like Happy Hobbit, I knew full well that there would be very few people who'd actually read my book in the random audience. So I also talked about self-publishing. And so that's a really cool way that the internet has completely changed the publishing landscape, is that, you know, everyone has economical access to services that beforehand were really, you know, pigeonholed and not easily accessible. So Sunday was a big day, especially for me. I got to participate on several panels. The first one was the importance of strong female characters in young adult literature, and I was there with some lovely ladies, some of whom were New York Times bestsellers, all in the fantasy science fiction genres. And that was a great experience, and to you know, have an open discussion. You know, Toriel is a hot subject for a lot of Tolkien fans because a lot of, you know, the purists say, why is she there? And then there are other people like us who say, you better have updated a story written for the society of the 30s, which was not inclusive of women or girls on adventures at all. So that was a fascinating conversation to be had. Which was a nice segue into our next panel.
Yes.
Which was introducing a project that Beaufort and Quickbeam and I have been working on with other talented people for some time behind the scenes, and it's about to go public. We're making the documentary sequel to Quickbeam's Ringers, which a lot of you have probably seen, that was narrated by Dominic Monaghan. And except for focusing on Lord of the Rings fans in general, we're going to be having a look at fangirls, and so I'll tell you more about that in a separate video, but it was very exciting to let the world know.
The first public thing, really.
Yeah, that's the first time we've gone public about, you know, what our, quote, secret project's been.
It's gonna be incredible.
So after that, I had yet another panel on women in fiction.
So famous.
So it's, what the weird part about being a panelist is I get up there and there's like 5 other women, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm late to the party. They all know each other. They're all probably friends, and they're all probably thinking, who is this girl who's self-published coming up here? But luckily, That's not the case at all. In fact, I highly doubt like any of them really knew each other that well. A couple of them had like the same publicist and publisher and stuff. But other than that, it's just a bunch of people getting together, being like, yeah, okay, cool, let's all talk to the audience and, you know, do quick introductions. So, so that worked out really well, and
she did a really good job.
Yeah, my book Darkling, which again I don't have it here, but you can get it at Wetta's booth. It's a female villain, and she's messed up. She's very cunning, very strategic, and ruthless, and yet she goes through a humanization process. So she was really fun to write. They're out there, you find them.
They made it so welcoming.
But like, it was pretty cool being the #1 fan in the audience and like cheering a lot. You can only imagine I might have been a little loud. It wasn't that bad, don't worry.
So, yeah. So
I'd embarrass her a little.
Like, a highlight for me was meeting 2 readers who came up to me after each panel that I was on for writing, saying, oh my gosh, I read your book, I recognized you from the author photo, can I take a picture? And I'm just like, as starstruck going, this book, like this one right here, and like this, like you haven't seen Happy Hobbit, you're not a Tolkien freak, like you actually knew me as an author, and that was just, I still can't believe it. I feel like they were lying.
No.
Not that I have anything against people who found my book through Happy Hobbit. No, I love you guys. I'm so thankful to you for that.
But it's just trippy when...
But I just assumed that that's the only reason people know that my work is out there. But yeah, so it was really rewarding to find out. No, some people know about your work just from word of mouth or whatever. So that means my book is slowly trickling its way out there. And there are more books to come.
Yes!
More books to come.
I will keep my mouth shut, but they are...
She's like more excited about my new series than I am.
Whatever.
In the coming months, keep your eyes peeled for Afterworld Book 1, Ophelia. My book was for sale at Weta Workshop's booth, and that was like I just look at the pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's real. Yeah, they put it up in the case and everything, and so that was like, thank you so much, Weta, for your support. That was awesome, and that was, wow. Like, the writing stuff for me was just a dream come true. So for me, Sunday was just go, go, go. Like, food, water, too bad. You don't get it. So I was just on panel after panel after panel. No, I didn't even get coffee. So right after that, then we booked it over to Weta's booth and we helped them immediately do Teardown. As our 3rd time doing Teardown, it was weird to be like, yeah, we actually do know what to do. And
I know, we know how to wrap up Gandalf.
Yeah. So we did Teardown with our friends at Weta and some of our friends who were with us at the convention. And it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
It's always a really cool experience. It's like, yeah.
But it's always bittersweet too, because at the end, then it's goodbye.
I know. It's like you get to work with each other, doing all this cool stuff, taking apart Azog, and then it's done.
I know. But luckily, we'll see a lot of them in a month.
Yes.
In July at San Diego Comic-Con.
They are the most special, kind, good-hearted, fun people. If you ever get the chance to meet any of them,
yeah, definitely. If you're ever at a convention and Weta's there, please go up and say hi.
They are all awesome.
So, after that, we had a few hours on Monday that we could explore and actually see the state that we were visiting.
And so we got a tour by
the Morrison Natural History Museum.
Yes.
Matt Mossbrucker, the paleontologist, gave us an awesome tour of their museum. And so we got to see, like, I was kind of freaking out, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the first time I actually got to see dinosaur bones was in South Dakota several years ago. It was a real fossil T-Rex skeleton.
Like, not a cast.
Real one. And I'm not gonna lie, I burst into tears. Like,
it's incredible.
And I did what you're not supposed to do. I, like, went out and touched it. Because it was an actual Tyrannosaurus Rex.
But at this place was incredible as well because they didn't have an actual T-Rex skeleton, but they had...
They have castings, and that's, because they're castings, that's why you're allowed to touch them and interact with them, and they're, you know, to be honest, almost exactly the same as what the fossil was. They're really accurate. And so as we're going on this tour, Matt starts picking up on, you know, my dinosaur fangirling.
Do you want to work on one-of-a-kind dinosaurs now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good answer, because you didn't really have a choice.
And says, look, how about I let you hold, you know, a part of a pelvis, actual fossil from a Dimetrodon.
Real.
300 million year old fossil. And so I just like stood there holding it and smelling it and holding it and smelling it and holding it and smelling it and being like, no, you're not gonna cry. And then he busts out an Allosaurus tooth that was broken off when the Allosaur was feeding off of a carcass.
How insane is
Like
that?
white sharks, they had teeth that would, within several months, just, you pop one out, grow another. Like, that's incredible. And so, yeah, so, like, there was a lot of dinosaur freaking out going on.
So cool.
And they even let us drill a little on a rock that they're working on. They've been working on for 3 years now to exhume this fossil that's embedded in it.
We also got shown around a few things by...
Well, welcome to this Happy Hobbit adventure where we are here with Barlaam Butterbur,
who has a lot of secret knowledge about Middle-earth creatures that...
And he also runs an inn known as...
The Best Western Denver Southwest or the Dino Hotel.
And we thought only Barlaam was only famous for, like, his beer and stuff.
So, also, I mean, we're more the prancing dinosaur than the prancing pony.
The prancing dinosaur.
The dancing dinosaur?
The prancing Parasaurolophus.
So, if you claim to know so much about dinosaurs, Mr. Butterbur, is this Smaug?
This is not Smaug. This would be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, big pointy teeth, very tiny little arms, but one heck of both a scavenger and a predator.
Would he have back in the day lived around where your inn is?
Actually, they have found shed T-Rex teeth in the Denver area, so we know for a fact that dinosaurs, or T-Rexes specifically, might have been stomping about 65 million years ago around.
They'd be stomping hobbits. They would be stomping.
They would be squishing hobbits into jelly.
They'd be stomping Sauron.
They'd be stomping Oliphants.
Oliphants would have come later.
This is true. Speaking of Oliphants, don't you have something similar?
There might be something similar to an Oliphant upstairs.
Let's take a look.
Let's go take a look.
So, as you can see, we found the Oliphant.
Yes, this is a mammoth, the woolly mammoth to be specific. And one thing that might have influenced Greek mythology is one of the hypotheses is that this might have been the skull, or an African elephant might have been the skull that influenced the myth of the Cyclops.
Because is that where the trunk?
Yeah, this is where the trunk goes. It's not where the eye socket is, but it looks like an eye socket.
Yeah.
So, you might be standing next to a Cyclops.
Polyphemus.
I'm scared.
That's right. So we might have to tie ourselves to the bottoms of sheep to escape.
Yep. Okay. It worked for nobody.
No.
Also known as Ulysses or Odysseus. He told Polyphemus his name was Nobody.
She stumped me on that one. But this is one of our analogs for a Oliphant, and I think it would have been really fun to ride one.
Yeah. So how high off the ground would this have been on the animal?
Very, very high.
So especially high to a hobbit would.
Definitely house size or hill size if you were Sam Gamgee.
So these could have been real life if they were naked. Real life Oliphants.
Well, there were Columbian mammoths that were not shaggy like the more common European woolly mammoths. So those would have looked more like the Oliphants from the movies and the books.
There you go.
Better watch out for those naked woolly mammoths.
Especially when you're in Colombia.
And everybody should love dinosaurs.
Yes, you should.
And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
And giant paleo mammals.
Exactly. We love megafauna.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be seeing them pop up again.
And so this museum is located right next to Dinosaur Ridge, where the first Stegosaurus skeleton, not Stegosaurus. Combining Stegosaurus and skeleton. The first Stegosaurus skeleton was found in 1877. So, yeah, so Barlaam Butterbur gave us a tour of the Red Rock country.
It was beautiful.
And, hobbits that we are, we immediately kicked off our shoes.
And just ran off.
And had a blast, yeah, looking at the countryside. And
it was incredible.
I even danced in a Colorado stream, so... It was incredible, and you know, we were really lucky that we had friendly locals who, you know, were willing to share their home with us and show us, you know, why they love their state.
It was hard to leave.
It was!
It was really hard to say bye to everybody and leave, and we'll be back next year.
Hopefully.
Yes.
We're hopefully gonna come back next year. The problem is always that stupid money thing.
Yeah, but at this point I'm kind of just like, let's just go broke. It's more worth it.
Not the smartest plan in your early 20s.
Probably not, but...
Even stupider plan when you're getting older.
Hey man, there's only so much time you can see awesome people.
But yeah, we figured, you know, this is the last movie. This is probably our last opportunity to do this, so we're gonna hit up as many conventions as we can.
Speaking of next conventions, Joss decided if you are going to FantasyCon, you will see us there.
Yes.
So that will be awesome.
In Salt Lake City.
Yes.
July
and
4th weekend.
Boom! Go! If you can go any day, 1 day, 2 day, it's gonna be awesome. There are so many actors and talent,
Like
and
a ton of the dwarves, a ton of the hobbits are gonna be there.
It's gonna be one.
We're not sure yet exactly what Happy Hobbit's official presence is gonna be, but we're working on it. So,
if anything, we will see you there.
Happy Hobbit.
And I really hope that some of you are watching this.
Yeah!
That you're watching this and that you feel like whether you were there or were not, that you were a part of the journey, because that's always our goal when we get to do these cool things.
And if you've never been to a convention and there's one relatively close to you, you really need to try. There's nothing more magical than feeling like you are just part of a family. For example, at the dinosaur panel, the room was full, they let one more person in. He just happened to be dressed as Gandalf. So everyone flipped out. The dino lads on the panel stand up and start clapping. Everyone in the audience is just clapping and cheering as Gandalf slowly makes his way to the seat.
Yeah.
Why?
Front row.
Because why not?
He's Gandalf!
Yeah! Wow! Right here! Yeah! Take a bow! Yeah! Gandalf's in the house.
That's an honor from the Happy Hobbit.
Thank you.
I don't care that there's 12 other Gandalfs in the hallway.
Yeah!
He's Gandalf.
It doesn't matter, and you just, you know, you're instantly among your people.
Never be afraid to show your passion for this stuff, because there is always going to be someone equally or even more obsessed and willing to just, you know, geek out.
So until our next adventure,
we hope this video has left you
a happy Hobbit. It looks like it hit your eye.
And it hit this part here.
I'm not going to mention the suitcase of death.
Oh. Yeah, always beware when you're rolling suitcases. Some people don't see them.
I need second breakfast.
Second breakfast.
Second breakfast.
I need first breakfast.
Let's go get first breakfast!
I need coffee.
Happy Hobbit.
I just started to say very happy Hobbit. Okay, one more time.
I know you're like a happy
Hobbit panel. Well, almost. Except we're missing half of the Happy Hobbit.
Hope this video has
hope.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. She just
Awesome.
she made these.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful
good.
awesomeness.
That's so cool.
Wait, what am I? Who am I?
I don't know, Bongo. Bomber.
Celebrity's gone to my head. I became that girl. I left my empty water bottle in the bathroom stall by mistake, and I didn't go back for it.
And there was no room to walk.
Sounds like Comic-Con. It's in here. You can't see the
It was
floor.
Saturday. No, you can't.
State Park. I hope. That's what happens when you run 500 million miles an hour all weekend, like you've done, and sleep.
What do they call
what
do they call the leaf?
Long bottom leaf?
Yeah, home of the long bottom leaf, because it's legal here.
Oh, this is true.
So,
this is true.
we're in the home of the long bottom leaf, Colorado.
Happy Hobbit appropriate? Look, I could sell this to some chick on a wedding day.
Boffer on the phone. Ah. Ants, go home.
They are home.
We are Happy Hobbit in Colorado.
Woo! Colorado! Frickin' flies.
Yeah, there's a lot of flies. Like, apparently we smell or something.
They like dwarf. What do they get when they can't eat Hobbit? What do flies land on when they can't land on a dwarf?
Friends like, Bilbo, you almost threw me off the cliff. And if you pay attention, and it's when the snow giants are fighting, if you pay attention, it's this really scary shot, and you just see this of Bofur. My eye. End of story.
When Thorin says Bilbo, you almost threw me. When he's jumping down to rescue Bilbo.
Oh wait, that's what I meant.
If anyone throws anyone off a cliff, it's Thorin throwing Bilbo.
Yeah, just wait. Third movie.
We saw it. No, it was you first.
Wait, is this a video? Damn it!
No, you didn't! I thought you were...
Yes, we wound up leaving together, you know.
Elves always shop organic.
Oh, so did you guys become friends in the tomato aisle?
Indeed.
Or was it... Wow.
The men always prevails.
Elves do not have to.
Oh.
We're
That's what she thinks.
A happy Hobbit.
I was gonna say happy, and I thought you were gonna say Hobbit.
No, we said it together.
I forgot.
Okay, we don't usually do that.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
Because we're never on screen together. Who are you? Ah.